Hello ladies, I'm excited to continue with training and just helping you guys out with one of my other favorite parts. I love, obviously, from the class before, the booking, coaching, and pre-profiling. Parties can be so much fun, and it's just where you can allow yourself to be creative and really allow your personality to shine. And I really feel like that's the same with team building, because that is what I'm teaching today, is our team building class. Team building is just an amazing part of the business as well. I love it because the cool thing is, one thing to always remember with this part, Mary Kay can truly be for anybody, but we also get to hand select women we want to grow with, women we want to build with, women we want to dream big and do life with. Some of your very nearest and dearest best friends now are going to come from your skincare parties, women you would have never met had you not had Mary Kay in your world. And I just think that's the cool part of this, is that not only are people that are in your life now, and maybe your mom, maybe your best friend, maybe even a sister or a sister-in-law that you absolutely adore and love, you may just take them on this journey with you. I've done that with my best friend. She is now a sales director as well, and building a business and doing phenomenal with it. And it's just really cool that we've been able to do life since we were teenagers together. But then there's women I've met along the way that it's like, wow, had Mary Kay never been in my life, I would have never met this amazing woman who now I get to, we communicate sometimes on the weekly or on the daily. We've gotten to know each other on some really real levels, and that's the cool part about team building. And so I don't want to go too heavy with you. I just kind of want to brief over this. I want you to start feeling confident in this skill, because let me tell you, just like a skincare party, you're never going to know everything before your first team building appointment. You're just not. It's okay. You're new. But the more you do a party, the better those parties become, right? The less nervous you get. The same with team building. The more you ask, 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 the better and stronger you will become at team building. So do not let your mind tell you, well, you don't know that, or you don't know enough about team building. Absolutely not. Tomorrow, tonight, once you're done watching this video, if it's 30 seconds after it's all over, and you're thinking, oh my God, your heart's beating because God's just telling you need to call some girl because she needs to be a part of your team, call her. Like, ladies, it is just a pure mentality in your own heart and in your own mind. Yes, there are some learned things you need to do with this class or with this skill in our business, but the more you do it, the better and easier it becomes. So some things you do want to just know. Recruiting and team building is a mental thing. You think you're not going to recruit them? Absolutely, you're going to be able to talk people right out of recruiting. When you tell yourself, I am a master at recruiting. Everybody I talk to joins my team. Everybody I approach wants to be a part of this with me and be a part of my dream journey with me. And they love to be on my dream team. Ladies, it is how you approach it. It is all in your mind. So, super excited. Some really cool things when it comes to team building. First off, a few tips to just kind of know. And these are some things that obviously in a team building appointment you would bring up. And again, you'll fill it out when the appropriate time is to kind of go over these different tips, but some things to always kind of jot down and have on an index card or whatever you're always going to do an appointment with. I even go over this in my iStory when I'm doing an iStory with people, because I think it's some really powerful points. First off, our starter kit, ladies, is only $100. I guarantee you, the woman that's watching this, whether you are a teenager and you're 18, 19 years old, or you are a more seasoned woman, we've all recently probably just spent $100 on something. Then it would probably, I can almost guarantee it wasn't something that like totally rocked our world. May have been at a grocery store, which obviously we all need food to survive. But again, I don't think that food is like totally changing your world. It may have been just running into Target when you literally needed one or two items and you come out $200 later. Normally I know a lot of people say that can happen to them. So I mean, honestly, we can all say we probably spent an easy $100 on whatever, and it hasn't really done a whole lot for you. And this is a $100 decision that truly could change somebody's life. Think about you yourself right now when you invested the $100, or you had somebody help you invest that $100. Even just in a little bit of time, has Mary Kay not rocked your world to that point? And so it's $100 valued. The kit is valued at over a $500 value. Ladies, that's remarkable. I don't know if many of you guys have invested in school, even a college or a trade school. More often than not, sometimes definitely trade schools will give you kits. I can personally talk from experience. I joined and did a trade school myself when it came to college. I went to beauty school, paid a lot of money to go. Paid a lot more than $100, I'll tell you that much. And the kit that we got our kit probably could have cost the school, I would say at most not even $30 what we got when we were handed our kits for beauty school. And I can remember thinking, whew, this really is under-impressed with this, but it is what it is, and that's what it was like. And I can tell you that I am grateful that I have my license in cosmetology, but at the same time, I forked over a lot of money for it too, and the kit was not very impressive. Where our kit, holla! Our kits are pretty impressive if you ask me. We come with everything provided for us, and it's absolutely remarkable. So I think it's pretty awesome. A few things to know. We are a faith-filled business. We were created on the foundation of being able to put our faith first, our family second, and our career third. Bottom line, Mary Kay was huge on that. We have 28 tax deductions the moment that someone joins Mary Kay. Because of being an in-home based business, and this is not a tax class, so I'm not going to go through all the deductions, but you can ask your director. There's accountants that you can call up and talk to that do solely, like, they really work with in-home based businesses that can literally tell you everything and email you different things on paperwork on, like, being able to see exactly all the things you get to deduct, but it's amazing. Couple other quick things you want to always remember when it comes to somebody and sitting with somebody, and they're kind of maybe tossing it out to you that, I've thought about doing Premier, I've thought about doing LuLaRoe, or I'm thinking about doing 31. There's a lot of companies out there. By no means do I bash any of them. In fact, some of them I absolutely like myself, and I support, and I have consultants who I call up for different products that I enjoy. But the only thing I tell women when I'm sitting across the table with a person and talking team building, and I'm talking about our opportunity, I'm talking about having a dream life, and I'm talking about being able to make incredible money with this company, is I talk about the recession-proof product that we have. The one thing in Mary Kay we love is we love the drain. Our products get used up. A 31 bag, they're cute, they're reusable, you can use it for many, many years, and there's really not a need for a reorder, if you understand what I'm saying. A lot of us can have only so many totes, and then it's like, oh my goodness, I'm toted out. And I will say, with our price point and everything, we're just so great and we're so reasonable that we love the drain. And even when the depression actually happened, this is actually a fact. 3 products that never went low, even through the depression, and this is something always to remark at your parties and even at your team building appointments, ladies: tobacco, alcohol, and lipstick. And in that, the reason I say that is because even in a tough time, you may even watching this, it might be saying, I can relate, because right now money is a little tight with our family. But I guarantee you're sitting there saying, but I wash my face still every day. I brush my teeth every day. I'm still getting my hair done. You're probably still paying to have somebody cut your hair, color it, or whatever. You might even have your nails done if you're like me. And even if money's tight, we will still make sure we're going and making ourselves feel beautiful. Not that it's a vain thing. It is just how women are. And so, for you to be able to sit across the table and tell somebody, listen, the one thing I will tell you is with our products is a reorder business where we make 50% profit, not only from the time I sit with you somebody and I may give them a facial, but then 2 and 3 months later, you're going to invest in the product again, and I'm going to make 50% profit again. Ladies, do you understand and do you realize that's such a light bulb moment for a lot of women across the table making a decision on what direct sales company to go with? So, something very valuable to use. And you know what? I do want to make sure. I'll get to that in a little bit. I was going to say a few other things, but we'll get there. Okay, so couple things. Now that we've kind of got some good tips that we want to make sure we always go over. Who do you recruit? Who do you think you recruit? You recruit family. You recruit friends. You recruit coworkers. You recruit girls who went to college or are in college. Hostesses from your parties. Those are your best team members normally because they're seeing you in action and they're willing to work with you. Normally, if they're a great hostess, they could potentially be a phenomenal team member. People that love products and they love Mary Kay products. If you've got a customer who's been a loyal, die-hard customer to you and with you for, I don't know, you've been at Mary Kay now 2 years, and every 3 to 4 months she is ordering. She typically might be someone you need to talk to about, hey, furthering into maybe thinking of this as an opportunity for herself. They are a lot of times great team members. Girls that love to have some fun are high eyes. We love the girls that love to shop, love girl time, love going out on a Friday or a Saturday night, your party girls. Those are your girls that just absolutely are some phenomenal team members, because a lot of times those ones are driven, they're prize oriented and they're driven by excitement. They're driven by the girlfriend time and the relationship building that they're going to get to do. So a lot of times they're very good team members. We also have people that are family. If you have a lot of women in your circle of influence, you yourself might be a mama. And you know how wonderful this company is because it's able to be worked around so many different schedules and lifestyles. And so if you have a lot of girlfriends in the same boat, they got babies and they're just becoming a mom, or they've got 3 kids and their life is a little like, she needs some out of the house time. This is a great opportunity for her because she could get that time. And we also recruit busy women. And you're probably sitting there thinking, why a busy woman? And I can just tell you that I have talked to so many people who balance life, who balance going to school, working 2 or 3 jobs, having 2 and 3 children, some married, some not married. I mean, we are all living in a world where, you got to make ends meet. And a lot of times when I tell a busy woman who looks at me and just says, Age, I don't know where I would squeeze this in, I said, girlfriend, you are the girl that I need to be with. Because first off, I want to help you maybe eliminate one of those jobs that maybe you're not so much loving. And 2, a lot of times a busy woman is 2 things. She's seeing a lot of faces, a lot of people with skin that she can be selling to. And 2, a lot of times a busy woman, the one thing you will realize is that they're very efficient and they're very effective in short little bits of time. They know how to get a lot done in very quick spurts. And that's the one cool thing we can teach in Mary Kay, where if they have even 3 hours on a Saturday morning, where if they only could work Saturday mornings from 10 to noon or 10 to 1, every Saturday morning, because then by 4 o'clock she's got to go in and wait tables or bartend or whatever. You know what? Between 10 and 1 o'clock on every Saturday for 4 Saturdays straight, or even if she wanted to take 1 off and work 3 Saturdays straight, and from 10 to 1, she could easily be making on average, be selling anywhere between probably upwards of $500 to $600 just in that small amount of time. And that is then half profit. So if say we're on the low end, she works 3 Saturdays a month, from 10 to 1. She's on average maybe selling about $400 at every appointment. That's 2 4, that's $600 extra dollars she will be bringing into her household just by working 3 Saturdays a month from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ladies, that's 9 hours in a month to bring in an extra $600 paycheck. To me, that's almost unheard of in any job, being able to make that kind of money right off the get-go. So when I'm sitting across the table and I'm talking to a busy woman, I will tell her, are you willing to let me train you and show you how you can do that? Because I can. And a lot of times a busy woman hears that and they're like, she might have something up her sleeve I got to kind of find more about. So a lot of times they're a really good recruit. Okay. Why do you recruit? You're probably sitting there saying, well, why do I want to bring up people on my team? Cool part of this is because our sales are the now money. We love making that money when it's at the parties. Woo! It's our now paycheck. It's the paycheck that day. Then why you start to build a team is that is your future wealth. The future wealth part of this company is amazing because that can range, and this is not a class that break down every little bit. But as a beauty consultant, you make 50% profit. As you start to build your teams, ladies, you are going to start with 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 people. You're going to start making a 4% commission off them. And ladies, let me clarify for you. You're probably sitting and thinking, okay, well now this is a pyramid scheme. Nope. No. We are not pyramid. We are dual marketing. We are actually taught at Ivy League colleges because our marketing plan is so off the charts awesome. They actually teach our marketing plan to business majors and business students because it's so phenomenal. But our company actually will pay you. So as you start to build a team, that percentage starts to go up. 3 to 5, then you're at 5. You could be up at let me make sure of my numbers because I can get ahead of myself. 1 to 2 is 4%. Yes, 3 or 4 team members. 3 or 4 is still at the 4% commission, and then you're starting to make an extra $50 off of every new recruit. Woo! That gets exciting. And then when you get into our star team builder and actually our team leader position, our team leader position is 5 team members to 8 team members. So you have 5 to 8 team members on your team. You are considered a team leader, and that, ladies, is when it can kind of take a sizable jump. You actually can be making anywhere between a 9 to 13% commission check from our company. You also are getting the $50 bonus off of each team member. And when you have 5 team members on your team and they're personal to you, you can go on target for your car. And that is where you and your director will be talking. Your director will be watching the numbers. She'll kind of see like, oh, wow, we got a lot going on with this little Susie Q over here. And she starts watching and everything too. So she's really kind of kicking it in high gear with you. Then you can, what we consider after that is when you have 8 team members, you're considered a future 8. You're still making that 9% from the 9% commission check from the company. And that's 8 or 9 people being on your team. And then when you go into, once you have 10 on your team, you are considered a DIQ, which DIQ stands for Director in Qualification. And DIQs, it can get sizable. What happens with that? It's you and your team from 1 to 4 months to create your own personal unit. And then you become what we call a sales director. And then that starts getting crazy big. The commission checks we can earn and all the bonuses we can earn from the company. But you not only can still be tracking and winning your car, you're also going to be building your team and becoming a sales director and giving yourself a 300% raise when you become a sales director. It's sizable, ladies. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that. And then you go on with 10 personal team members to finish your unit. It takes 24 total people, and that's between you and your team members working to build to 24, and you have 1 to 4 months to do that. So it's really awesome, ladies. The way that the company pays us, they don't only just pay us in the world of selling, they pay us when we pass this opportunity on to as many women as we can. And you can do that as fast or you can do that as slow as you want, but I will tell you, you will change lives. And not only will you change lives, your life will be forever changed. Your children's lives will be forever changed. When they see a mommy go out and start changing the lives of others, they will be, in return, your heart, your life, your mind will be totally, totally changed. After that, like I said, sales directors, our checks can get sizable. I will tell you, if right now you do not have an Applause magazine, and in fact, I don't have one sitting here. Normally I should, because at every team building appointment, you always have an Applause magazine. In fact, I was scurrying to get all my notes together from we're about to start our meeting here soon. But you always want to have an Applause magazine, because that is where it's so important to show women those checks. I want you to, when we're done watching this video, I want you to grab your applause, and I want you to look at the directors. Those are not nationals. Those are directors in Mary Kay's checks. Ladies, I want you to read them. Some of them are $15,000 a month. Some are $20,000 a month. Ladies, that can be you. You just have to decide, are you willing to step out of your comfort zone just a little to go change the life of somebody in a drastic and huge way? And so, it's really, really cool. I want you to make sure you always bring those, because those like for your D personalities, when you flip open that applause and you're sitting in a team building appointment and she sees, holy smokes, I can make what? I can make $20,000 in a month? You'll be like, yeah, girl, you gotta just sign up with me today. And that, let me tell you, that for them sometimes, especially a D personality, that is like, that's end of discussion period. We doing this business together. So make sure you always have an Applause magazine everywhere you go. I will tell you, very key things when it comes to team building. First off, there's lots of different tools you can use. You can use marketing videos. There's a lot of even some hotlines you can dial into, they can listen to, they can watch to. Always letting your director know that if you've got somebody hot and you want to talk to her. If you're in the brand new beginning stages of building a team, go sit with your director. Line up a day where you have a lot of interviews and you just have your director come in, you kind of shadow her and watch her and take notes. If you're the consultant here where maybe you feel a little rusty, but you're kind of feeling like you got it, maybe just have you and your director do a little bit of role play over the phone where you guys can kind of go back and forth, and then that way too in the next few days you can get right back on that horse and start continuing. If you're the woman who you're just watching this and you're thinking, gosh darn it, I know what this business is all about. I know I can recruit. It's just me getting out of my own stinking way. Then get out of your own stinking way, girlfriend, and go recruit. So with that, a couple quick other things I always want to make sure I go over. When you go to any team building appointment, the few things you always want to make sure you have are always an Applause magazine. Oopsies, AG doesn't have one here to show you, but you always want to have that Applause magazine at every single appointment, team building appointment you go to, at every single party I have them, because sometimes on the moment and when you're in that individual close, you're gonna have somebody that says, I want to do this, and then to show her something like that again is remarkable. I always make sure too, I always have a little bit of information about the opportunity. This is kind of like a bullet point type of thing where it just gives different tips and facts. It has like an avenues of income part, additional perks. It even gives a bird's eye view of the starter kit. Having a picture of the starter kit I do think is very valuable. Everybody's visual. National sales director pay, and then it just kind of shows down here how beauty consultants make their money as well. So it kind of gives me a little bit to go from. If I'm sitting across the table, I can kind of go through that with her. I always make sure I have agreements. You always want to make sure you are ready to rock and roll with agreements in hand. You never want to go to a team building appointment without actual agreements. So I always have those at every appointment so that they're ready to be signed. One thing too about the Applause magazine before I get ahead of myself, if there are specific directors who you personally know within our area, you can be highlighting my mom's checks, different people, even different people you've heard from, whether at different conferences you go to, maybe you've connected with a director and you're like, oh my God, I just loved her. Highlight her name, because then what you can say is, you know what, I've actually been trained by her. And look at that, that's her check for this last month. I just want to show you that. Isn't that kind of crazy? Because that way then it kind of makes that person go, wow, she really knows these people too. So it's kind of cool. Okay, a couple other things. One other thing I don't have shown here, it is in my duffel bag that I take to my parties. And again, at your parties, you always want to start taking pictures at Mary Kay functions and just in your own personal life, which all of us got our cell phones, we all can take pictures. Make sure you print some of those off. I know it's not a big thing anymore to go actually print a photo off and go buy them at like Walgreens or Sam's Club or something, but go do it for yourself. And the reason I say that Everybody loves to flip through a photo album, and when I go to an appointment and I'm sitting across a table, maybe someone's still kind of on the bubble, I'll flip out my book and I'll just say, listen, look through this. And I know you may not be able to relate to me, and I know right now we're sitting elbow to elbow and eyeball to eyeball, and maybe you think I'm totally off the charts, and girlfriend, that's okay, because I really am. I'm a whole lot of crazy. But there may not be myself, maybe my lifestyle that you can relate to, but you know what, as you flip through, you're going to see all different walks of life. I just want you to take a moment and look through this book. And you know what I do? I put a lot of different pictures from Mary Kay functions in there. I put pictures of my dreams in there. I put different pictures of my family and just my own girl time and my private life. I put pictures of things that I enjoy to do. And the reason it is what she starts to realize is, oh, she's right. There's all kinds of, there's big people that do Mary Kay. There's short people that do Mary Kay. There's white people. There's black people. There's all kinds of people that do Mary Kay. Every type that does Mary Kay. Mommies and not mommies. And I just want her to realize that it doesn't matter who that person is sitting across the table from her or in that photo book, but if she has a dream in her heart that she could be in Mary Kay. And so I kind of let her go through, and I'll kind of explain as she flips through the pages, and I kind of have it obviously a little bit cohesive. But I'll say, you know, this is at our last seminar, you know, our last leadership event. We were out in such and such. We were out in LA, or we were out in New Orleans. And so I explain some of what's going on. And then I'll say, well, these are my page, or these are my dreams right here. This is my dream home, or this is my dream car, or this is my dream this. This is a dream vacation I want to go on. And then I'll show like my niece and my nephew, who I absolutely love and adore. They are the most amazing things that God ever gave me. And I'll show pictures of them, and I'll show them my personal life with my family, and even just my girlfriends. And that again allows her to see that I'm a real person outside of work. I do have a life. Not that I don't have a life with Mary Kay, but it's just, you know, you have your work life and your personal life. And I want her to realize that. And so that's always a very important part, even though somebody might say it's kind of foolish. No, it's not foolish. It's actually very important. The other piece of information I always have at every team building appointment is a fabulous sheet, which you obviously want to take these to every Mary Kay skincare party too. Reason I have this is because as somebody's sitting there, one of the biggest things I find at a lot of appointments at a team building appointment is too, a lot of people will tell me they don't think they have time to do this, they don't have the money, or they don't know who they would even ask. And I'll tell them, you know, girl, I actually have a sheet of paper, and I'll pull this out, and I'll say, I want you to start going through your cell phone cell book for just a few minutes, and I want you to go through your Facebook friend list. And anybody that's at least 18 or 21 years of age and older, and you know that they don't have a Mary Kay girlfriend, like if you know that they've already loved Mary Kay, they probably are being serviced, and I want you to start putting their names down, and if you have their numbers, I want you to put their numbers too, especially because if she's going through her cell phone book, she should have their numbers. And I'll just wait a few minutes. I'm like, go for it, girl, just go ahead. After she's done doing that for a few minutes, and I'll kind of watch if she gets about halfway through the page, I'll say, you know what, Susie Q, you just kind of told me you're not sure who you'd start with. Well, let me just tell you, you just put about 14 people's names and numbers on this sheet alone. Do you know what all those 14 people have? Is they all got skin. And you can call them tomorrow and say, listen, I'm brand new with Mary Kay. I want you to be a model for me. Can we set up a date? And let it go from there. And the thing is, it's a word of mouth type thing. Girlfriends start talking to their girlfriends, and those people know people you don't know, and we help you market and network and all that kind of stuff. And I said, that's your startup. And ladies, this is a crucial part for you to have somebody fill this out, because say if at that appointment she does join, she's got a list of people, physical list of people that when she tells me the next day on the phone, oh my God, what did I do, H? I don't know what I'm doing. I tell her, girlfriend, don't psych yourself out. You got your fabulous sheet. Go back to that sheet, and I want you to start calling those girlfriends. And you can even do a 3-way call with her. Tell her, help her. Say, hey, listen, let's get on the phone for about a half hour's time. We'll work through this. I've got you, girlfriend. I got you. Or if Susie Q at the end of the appointment still is not feeling it, she's kind of like, you know, I want to stay a loyal customer to you for right now. Let me just kind of let this soak in a little bit. Maybe I need to come down. And that's when you want to invite her to your next Mary Kay event so she can see what it's all about. But she's kind of on the bubble. Ladies, you keep this sheet, because you know what she just gave you? She just gave you a ton of referrals. She just gave you a lot of people. When you start to get with those people, you do maybe make a few calls after you've had a couple appointments and just say, Susie Q, I know that you were really on the bubble about being a part of my team. Can I just let you know that Stephanie, that Kelly, and that Brenda that you actually put on that list, those were in the top 5 women. I haven't got a hold of everybody yet, but in the top 5, I've gotten a hold of already 3, and I've had appointments with them. Do you know how much I've sold just to the 3 of your girlfriends? Ladies, do you see how then her mind is going to go, oh, what? Those are my friends. What'd you just say? Or you have Susie Q be a hostess for you, and this becomes her guest list for her party. So do you guys see how All these things are very, very important to kind of be using, to be molding yourself with, especially the Applause magazine, especially the album, always having the agreements at every appointment. I mean, ladies, and your date book, so that if you do gonna set up a party with Susie Q, she's here, you got your date book to set it up with. I mean, ladies, I can't tell you how much team building is so important with this business. You wanna build future wealth. You want to build a network of women who, when maybe God takes you out of the field for maybe a couple weeks of a flu or having a baby, or life just goes awry for a little bit, which I've been there, have that t-shirt, bought that t-shirt, have that t-shirt, where you can still be making income and still be having an okay time. Ladies, start building your wealth. And building your wealth is going to come with recruiting. And as I said, if there's a woman that you know right now that your heart's going pitter patter, and telling you, girl, go call her. Go get her on the phone. You need to do that. Because there's a reason God's brought you to her mind. Maybe she's not going to say yes right away, and God's timing is perfect. God's never late. He's never early. He is always right on time. Don't we know that? I know that personally as well. But I will just tell you that your life will change, and you can change so many lives as you continue to just go and do exactly what Mary Kay asked us to do, is pass it on. So I hope this video has helped you. I hope this training has helped you, and I hope to see you very soon in that fabulous, sexy, hot red jacket or higher. Go rock it, girl.